Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning into another Super Tease video. And there has been a massive uptick in bots. And I'm not talking about the ones that fly around and click on rocks and stuff. These bots are getting a lot more advanced. Here I was in a solo shuffle thinking, oh no, my hunter is AFK. How on earth am I possibly going to be able to deal with this situation since they aren't even there to play their character? So here I am trying to protect them. Little did I know that this character would be playing itself. You can see it's just standing still, just absolutely standing still, landing a trap off on the corner on the priest out of a beam without moving a single time in the game and standing in one spot the entire time. This is the first kind of signal that you're going to get that you are playing with one of these bots. And honestly, I don't think they're worth the money. I'm going to be real here because this bot is not going to cut it, man. Like, it just sits here in the middle and I'm like, okay, how on earth am I going to try and get this to work? So I pulled the team into the room hoping that, okay, maybe the bot will do some damage and we can win. You can see it sniping traps off of nothing, just off of thin air, standing in one spot without moving the entire game right here. It uses aspect of the turtle when it gets low health. It's doing its damage rotation, although poorly. Maybe he didn't pay for the premium version. I don't know, but this doesn't seem to be too excellent in terms of that. And the reason that I know that it's a bot is because after this round, where I can't remember if we win or lose, the hunter types had to reload or something as if he had disconnected because he was AFK at the start. So now he starts moving. And you could see the character start moving, and he typed, oh, sorry, guys, I had to reload. He didn't know that the bot was playing for him the whole time regardless, which is absolutely crazy. But then he starts moving at this point, and I still can't believe that we even made it this far into the match. I was thinking, like, oh, man, another solo shuffle lobby. I'm getting trolled. Somebody's AFK, and there's no chance. We have no chance. And he just starts playing the game. Absolutely crazy. So as we moved through the rest of the lobby, we're going to start trying to figure out, like, is it 100% a bot? Would a player truly stand in the spot where they spawn the entire game, perfectly sniping traps on an angle, landing interrupts, and doing damage without moving until like 40% through the game and then disengaging and randomly moving around the map? I don't know. Like, you guys gotta let me know in the comments down below. Does that sound like a player would do that? Have you ever seen a player actually do that? I haven't. So now we're gonna try and pull the hunter out of stealth. You see that the bot's gone into camouflage. It knows how to go into stealth. It knows how to land traps from long range. Ironically, its name is long range. So we get pet stunned, we get freezing trapped. This thing is pretty advanced when it comes to this type of crowd control. We're doing our best to try and keep up our ally here to try and pinpoint like what exactly is going on with this. We drop Healing Tide behind the pillar. It disengages behind the pillar. It kills the Healing Tide. It disengages behind the pillar and kills the Healing Tide instantly. There's no way. So we stun him up behind the pillar. We get a clone. I static field him, try and pull him out into the open. It aspects of the turtle at low health, snipes a trap on me off nothing. We gotta drop a trinket link. There's no way. And I think one of the times in this match is one of the interrupts on me is it around now? It might be around now where I go for a casted heal, or at least in the near future potentially, and we just get snap instantly interrupted just every single time. It's just an immediate interrupt that it's able to land. But as this lobby went on, I don't think that this hunter ended up winning a single round even with the bot. You see Bestial Wrath up, our Druid of Fear, we're trying to dispel him out. We get trapped off nothing. Just throws the trap off nothing. Perfect aim every time to be able to land crowd control. We get a double stun. I move away from the pillar. Get a lightning lasso onto the hunter here. Try and finish him off in the stun lock. We get Ray of Hope. We get Root Beam. And we get this Ray. I reroute the Root Beam as the priest gets out of the first initial route. We clone and we get the kill. This wasn't the round where the instant interrupt comes through, but he's got to patch his thing. He's got to patch his thing. I've been seeing a lot more of these things. I've been seeing a lot of like Ring of Peace bots, which can just like immediately knock somebody out of a totem or out of a darkness. It's perfectly placed, always in the center, and you can test it by putting your earthen off in a corner, and then a Ring of Peace will spawn on it for no reason because it's having no impact on the game, and you immediately can tell like, okay, that dude is botting, and it seems to be becoming more and more of a problem. You know, I thought Bots were replacing the people who worked at grocery stores, swiping our groceries. Now we got to do it ourselves, and there's going to be AI that brings out this stuff. AI is replacing people in their work, but it's starting to replace people in the game as well. It's starting to become a little bit unbelievable at this point what is actually achievable. So here we get trapped off of nothing from stealth by the hunter. They pop all of their cooldowns. I should say the bot pops all of their cooldowns. We get a healing tide. This time it doesn't immediately go over and kill the healing tide, I will note in this position. Maybe it only kills it if the player moves it in line of sight, and if the player doesn't have awareness to move it in line of sight, then it won't. This could potentially be what's going on here. We get a bash onto the hunter. I'm keeping up my target with instant healing, trying to just line of sight. I don't want to get instantly kicked, so I've used my aura mastery here to go for my casted heal and my stun, and there's the kick by the hunter. As soon as I slipped in the line of sight, just immediately kicked and trapped off nothing. Just perfectly sniped, trap, off of nothing, aspect of the turtle every time at X%. I think it looks like it's around 10 or 15% where the hunter bot can like calculate the incoming damage and trade aspect of the turtle before the remaining amount of damage comes through and kills it. It seems to be really advanced, really high tech in that regard. I couldn't believe it throughout this game. I think I tried to test the kick again in this round after that first one. Again, just traps off nothing, just stands near him. I guess it comes off cooldown. It's like, oh, okay, shoots the trap, just goes for it off of thin air. We're doing our best to try and keep up our guy. What's hilarious too about this player that's using this bot is that they were trash talking people in the lobby. They were just, it's just like, bro, you have the audacity to play with a bot, be AFK at the beginning of the game, and the bot literally doing everything because apparently the bot can't do movement, and then trash talk the people that you're playing with because your bot is too bad to be able to win a single round in the solo shuffle, and you're mad about paying money for something that sucks so badly, I guess. But it was absolutely hilarious to me that this player would go out of the way to start trash talking. I think it was the I think pretty much everybody in the lobby. He was trash talking the DPS about not hitting the right targets or something, and then the healers about not being able to keep them up or something. It was absolutely crazy, like the level of delusion that you've got to be hitting if you are using a third-party program like this, failing with a third-party program, and then also trashing and bagging on the other people while doing that. Like, oh my God, the level of ego that you've got to have here to be able to try and pull that off. So now we've got the bot on our team for this round. I don't even know what we're going to be able to do to try and get a win with it because it seemed so impossible. Now that I'm watching this back, we drop an Earth Ellie, get as much damage as possible with the hunters into the opener. We try and go for a shear on the clone. We get faked on it, so we're going to try and drop a grounding for it. And then we need to pop all of our healing cooldowns because this hunter has gone behind the pillar. The bot, it can't play the movement for him. So if he's bad at positioning, no matter the rotation, defensive cooldown activation, interrupts they can land, if you don't stand in a good spot, you're probably not going to win, which is why these bots are honestly not that high value. You need to know where to stand at least, and they can't do that yet, I suppose. Maybe eventually it will get to that point, but as it stands right now, it seems like from most of the bots that I've seen, they do not know how to move, and that's usually the best way to detect whether or not somebody is using one. Is melee DPS will move to a perfect location range to the target and then start attacking it without moving at all, and then if the target moves, it moves again and stops until it's perfectly in range and then keeps attacking, and then if the target moves away, it moves perfectly in range and then stops moving and then perfectly attacks and doesn't move after that point. I'm really surprised to see this. Another one is I think I checked the achievement points, and it's like if you have a remarkably low amount of achievement points, probably a new account, probably been banned and made a new one, and then that's another kind of obvious sensor to be able to try and figure out if somebody is using a third party or not. But it seems to be an increasing problem, and hopefully one that can be cracked down on at some point, because honestly it's going to get pretty frustrating. Although this bot in particular was not that impressive, always doing bottom damage, and even though the traps off nothing from so far away in the match were interesting, and the instant kicks, if you don't know how to position and its damage rotation is low, look at this cooldown activation. It's always the same percent of HP that these defensives activate every time, no matter what. It's just no matter what, just automatically will trigger. Normally when I've played with hunters, they just they won't turtle in one round, or they'll forget to use a cooldown. This player, every time, same percent, same activation, same cooldown every single time. Kind of remarkable what is able to be done, and like I said, hopefully Blizzard is able to do something about it. I just wanted to share this because it was absolutely funny to me that it started off with this player being AFK and then just reanimating and coming to life without moving, and then turned into them losing every round and trying to trash talk everybody when in reality, they probably just need to buy the premium version of their bot. But other than that, thank you very much for tuning into the video. If you want to stay up to date with patch notes, changes related to the game, smash that subscribe button. Your support is greatly appreciated, and I will see you in the next one.